So there we have this lovely sky and a new day. And a new twist in life. The birds are dancing around here. A new twist in life. Circumstances change. They're really changing all the time, maybe imperceptibly to an extent. And some of the circumstances are less significant, less impacting, and others are very impacting. And there's a new king in Egypt. And on the 12th of July, it was always a day I remember when we were children, a day of prayer. Because my dad would explain to us that there could be very severe tensions in Northern Ireland. On the anniversary of the House of Orange winning the Battle of the Boyne, King William, and certain hatreds were expressed, certain feelings of dominion. And so the sadness of the chapters of Northern Ireland were kept on that slow back burner of hatred that would then explode as we were getting older in the 60s, later 60s. There was a new king. Oh, look at that beautiful bird. I had to be faster to zoom in there. Beautiful purple heron. Oh, there's another one. And that line is very interesting, that the new king didn't know anything about what had gone on before. And completely ignored why these people had come to live in their country. And the circumstances they had provided. The importance of history, and also the importance of history in educating people. And the study of history, the research of history, even in a family. To know the background of things, and also to realize that decisions at certain times might be very faulty, and to understand that they were made and how they have set up situations that need to be dealt with. Things that need to change and develop, to be healed and repaired. And there's so many histories everywhere. We all have our history. Pope Francis has a great emphasis, many times repeated, the need to have parents, grandparents and grandchildren together. That they need to meet, they need to share, they need to tell the stories. The grandparents need that joy of seeing the children, the grandchildren appear and grow up little by little. And the grandchildren need to hear the stories the grandparents have to tell. What a gift for a family when that's the case. And how we need that across the board. In local and regional and national and international levels. To know history. And history may have very dark spots, clouded spots, also moments of great conflict. And knowing that then to say, okay, what do we put in place that will repair fallen bridges, rebuild roads for encounter, the education that needs to go on in a family, in each family, in every family. Because if that education doesn't go on in the family, then the problem is the children will carry, first of all, maybe ignorance, but then also maybe hatred and prejudice. If we could get that bird to fly, that could be very beautiful. It's perched on top of that little tree here. But we just let them be, let them be. And then when there's a lack of understanding, a lack of appreciation for the other, then the injustices start to mount. And with the injustices, the pain, the suffering, the resentment, the breakdown of trust, fear takes over center stage, violence and repression. The cruel lot of slaves. That expression, you know, they entered into that field of slavery. The cruel lot of slaves. The circumstances of slavery and hardship. And then things get more compounded and more hatred's built and more violence is endured. And there's so many situations like this around the world today. So many situations of great injustice and violence. And then there are two things in that situation. Number one, obviously the whole need to bring about a true and lasting reform. But there's an immediate need even prior to that, because lasting reforms take time to mature and develop and unfold. So while the suffering is going on, to be able to, you see, there's an incredible opportunity when we have received the Christian faith, how to deal with suffering, how to handle suffering, and how suffering forms us and shapes us. And suffering can be transformative. We think of the forest fire that causes certain trees to, the seeds to ripen and burst open, like the redwoods. They need intense temperatures to open for germination. And only the heat of a forest fire. Wow. Did you see that one? Right here we got two blue herons just come in, parked here in front of our parking lot here. Or their parking lot is right in front of us here. I think they hear me, so they're listening now. Let's see if we can focus in on them here. Okay, so it's just hard to make them out with the dark leaves there. They're right in there, okay? I just have to see how I can make that clearer for you. Come on, little bird, where are you? It's almost like Mission Impossible here. How do you find the bird in that situation? The contours of the leaves. Oh, you have him there. I got him. Right there in the center in the bottom. Oops, that's me. Now we have to focus in again. Come on. That wasn't me. Okay. Yeah. You see there in the center of the bottom? This is where all the messages are coming in, so let's see if I can get down here a little bit. There we have the bird. Oops. There we have the bird right in the center. a new king who knew nothing of Joseph came to power in Egypt. He said to his subjects, "Look how numerous and powerful the people of the children of Israel are growing, more than we ourselves. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them." Accordingly, taskmasters were set over the children of Israel to oppress them with forced labor. And how many peoples oppress others since that time? And then it came to the point of throwing all the children, every boy that is born, into the river. Our help is in the name of the Lord. You see, this is where suffering is transformative. There are times we can't get rid of suffering. It's staying with us. It won't go away. And it can be deeply transformative to be able to walk with suffering like Joseph did when he went to Egypt. To be able to say at the end of the day, of that day of long decades, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." And so this psalm today is Psalm 124. It's one of the psalms of ascent of the pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Our help is in the name of the Lord. And our help is active now, even if the suffering is enduring. And we are being transformed under that incredible pressure, that lasting pain. You know, food isn't cooked without turning up the heat. Bread isn't baked without quite a few hundred degrees of temperature in the oven. Temperature for boiling is not sufficient. We were rescued like a bird from the fowler's snare. There's the bird in the tree. Well, we're not trying to snare the bird. We were rescued like a bird from the fowler's snare. We were rescued while we're there. We were rescued from hatred. We were rescued from revenge. We're being transformed into people of very strong virtue. And this applies to all suffering, not just to interhuman suffering in relationships, but also simply into the suffering of sickness, of cancer, of lasting sufferings. I need to catch over here a second here. We leave that bird for a second here. And you see this lovely scene. These are not fishermen, this is just recreational, obviously. Where's our bird gone? Come on, birdie. Can you guys see the bird? It's out here at the end of that little branch. Oh, there we are. up there at the top of the screen. Behind those leaves, there we are. There we got your birdie. This is one delightful spot. She just went in there. I think she found breakfast. Our help is in the name of the Lord. Jesus said to his apostles, "Do not think I have come to bring peace upon the earth. I have come not to bring peace, but the sword." It's a very strong, hard gospel passage. We'll talk more about it at the Mass. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. You know, the first social commandment is to love your parents, to honor them. But it's after the commandment to love God above everything. And every relationship has to have its proper order and place. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. And that cross can be very difficult, very harsh, brutal, can be an experience of slavery, even moral slavery inside, the struggle to overcome bad habits, the struggle to overcome hatreds and rancor, to overcome disordered sexual desire, the struggle to lift ourselves up for bigger goals and bigger ideals in life, to take up our cross every day. Whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Whoever receives you receives me. There's so many lines here. Just go there, guys, and read the gospel. It's so powerful. It's absolutely amazing. It's Matthew chapter 10, the end of the chapter. People, I think we leave it like that for today. There's a lot to raise up our hearts, to inspire us. There are lots of changing circumstances in life. And here we are today, with our circumstances of this day, opening our hearts for transformation. Our help is in the name of the Lord. See you later, people. God bless you.